Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Monday, October 25th. We are live for the Teach Better Teams morning show, the daily drop-in show where we are live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We have a new theme every single week. We have a good news story. We got some holidays to celebrate. The one and only Mr. Jeff Gargis is here. We have some stories from our weekend. I mean, we have a lot to get through in this Monday show. So please fill up your coffee. We're going to get started slowly but sure waking up for the best week ever. So we'll be back. Good morning, Jeff. I got to spend my weekend with you. Now we're together again virtually. Are you sick of me yet?
I was just thinking how lucky you are. Like, how did you pull this off? This is pretty good. Yeah, we got to spend. We got to spend Saturday together.
Well, yeah, but I was in Ohio.
Chris, edit that. Oh shoot, it's live. Chris can't edit it. I'm so happy you did that, so I don't have to worry about doing it now.
No, it is early.
So we were in Idaho.
We're in Idaho the whole week.
We're in Idaho.
Oh my God, guys, it's Monday. Happy Monday. Yes, Jeff, it was really fun seeing you Saturday. I'm so over it.
It was great seeing you at somewhere that is not my home.
Yeah,
I enjoyed traveling to meet you.
I can honestly say that I was not at your home and it was wonderful. Although I did miss seeing all your kids and your beautiful family, as well as everybody else that we were with. We were able to travel this weekend with some Teach Better family members to plan a special event that will all be released on Wednesday. And so please ignore anything that you've heard. Wednesday's the day when all the fun happens.
And ignore Joe because he just guessed it.
What did he say?
Spoiler alert that we're having a conference at the Callahan Auto Parts plant.
That sounds really fun, but I know nothing about that. Is that like
come on. Tommy Boy? Tommy Boy, the movie, Callahan Auto Parts was in Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh. Well, let's just put it this way. If you are listening at 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday morning for the Daily Drop-In, I guess you got a closer pin down of the location, but we will move forward from there. I'm going to try really hard this week to not spoil the big news that we have Wednesday, Jeff. I want to talk shop, but I have to tell you the funniest thing that I don't know if you saw. We do like weekly reflections for our team. Mm-hmm. And everybody on the team, every week, they decide the day, does like a pit and a peek and a little reflection, takes like 2 seconds. Yeah. And everyone does a little bit differently. Like one person on our team writes like Dear Diary narratives. One person on our team, I got a haiku one time. Like they just do it to mess with us. It's just really funny. Yes. Somebody, Rachel on the team who runs our marketing department. She's the one that gives us the holidays. She literally has at this point just is the one that makes us look good. Her pit and peek was, I'm really nervous. Ray's going to mess up Wednesday night.
Was that the pit or the peak?
Well, it was the pit. She was like, I'm really happy we've done all this work to like bring our network, the date, the location, the registration details of the Teach Better conference on Wednesday. My pit is that I'm super confident Ray's going to mess it up.
So can we give you like a little outlet? Can we share now what we're going to share on Wednesday? Like what we're going to, not obviously don't share the details, but like what details are and are not coming on Wednesday. Maybe that'll give you a little bit of a like release of the craziness, or is that just going to make it really easy for you to accidentally?
No, let's do that. I also want to give a shout out. Adam is in the comments right now saying, I may know where it is, ... Guys, I have never been so proud of our Teach Better family that we were posting clues of where we were throughout the weekend. And we had like 4 or 5 people have stellar guesses of where we were. And we had someone come and find us, which was the most epic. We had 2 people
was awesome.
Find us. That was epic scavenger hunt style.
Somebody traveled all the way to Idaho to track us down, and it was awesome.
Okay, but how cool was it that 2 people randomly showed up where we were, even though we didn't tell anybody where we were, just to be
I don't
like,
know that the first one was random. I kind of set that up.
okay, so the second
Yeah.
one was
The
legit.
second one was 1,000% just. I mean, you can call it random. You can call it stalking. Like, you can call it whatever you want. We'll call it random.
Of all stalking tendencies, as long as it is the Teach Better family seeing other Teach Better family members.
Yes. Can I go completely off topic? Like that has something.
Because
That
we're
has
so
nothing.
on topic.
It has nothing to do with Daily Dropper or anything.
Sure.
Can I say congratulations to my friend Kristen who had a baby last night? My friend Kristen Baum, who lives here in Ohio, who I used to work with, had a beautiful baby boy yesterday. I know she jumps in and watches every now and then, so I'm hoping she watches this one from the hospital. Apparently, I don't know why.
Cheers to new baby!
Yay. Congratulations, Kristen. Yeah. He's a cute little baby. Not that babies, most babies are cute. So, yeah.
Okay,
anyway,
wait.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I felt I wanted to say that. I thought she'd appreciate it, and we can move on now. That's all she needs.
We were going to do something. Oh, what we're doing Wednesday. Okay, here's the deal for Wednesday. Here's what you need to throw on your calendar, because let's be honest, guys, it's Monday morning. You're not going to remember this in 10 minutes. So write this down, and then you'll be ready. So Wednesday, October 27th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is in the evening, we are going to be streaming just like we are now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, which is what we're doing right now for the Daily Drop-In. And we are going to be sharing the date, the location, and registration details with our Teach Better family for Teach Better Conference 2022. And I will also say that we'll also be taking questions live, so you never know if other things come out.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah, with you and me live, you never know whether we're just going to blurt it out. So that means at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, registration officially opens.
That was not public, but thank you for releasing.
You just said registration details.
Registration details doesn't mean it opens that day, but
okay. I don't know the details, and it doesn't. I mean, I'm coming Wednesday to find out all the stuff.
It does open, but either way.
Listen, I think I did a pretty good job there of making it not a spoiler, and you just gave it away. So that's 2 for you. You're down 2 points.
I'm just trying to say that you and I shouldn't be live together. I'm not worried about this happening tomorrow on Daily Drop-In because our guest isn't going to drill me about questions about the conference. So I'm just saying that, guys, I'm going to do my stinking best. I'm going to do my best. And if you have questions, you might as well ask them, because who knows what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do other Daily Drop-In stuff.
Yeah. So how are you, though? Legit, how was your weekend? How's life? We usually spend 2 seconds doing that.
I'm good. Weekend was good. Saturday we were together. We spent some time at the venue for the conference, going through, and then all day planning, strategizing, knocking out things and stuff. And it was fun. It's when we do that, we used to do these kind of lock-ins all the time. So it's a long day. So it's kind of fun. Think back how we used to always do it and stuff. And now that we got to do it with a few new team members and stuff, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's really exciting. It's both challenging, sometimes stressful, but always exciting when we get into planning big things like this and trying to figure out all the different details and make decisions. It was a good weekend. And then yesterday kind of relaxed a little bit. Actually, relaxed a little bit. Got a few things done, but we got pumpkins and we covered pumpkins last night with the kids. So that's always good.
Always good.
You got home. You all left really early yesterday morning. So did you go home and just sleep?
Yeah, I was gonna say
with your dogs and sleep.
The Friday, Saturday, Sunday extravaganza was really just late Friday night, all day Saturday, early Sunday. Yeah, because
we weren't actually here that long, or we weren't actually together that long. We were all just in and out and stuff.
Well, and I traveled with Katie Miglin, and who you guys know does a lot of the event planning for our team, and I was home by 11 o'clock. But we had calculated, I think total we got 8 hours up between of the weekend
of sleep.
Yeah. So I very practically was I haven't slept very much. I'm gonna take a nap. I set an alarm for an hour. I'm if I can get an hour in, I'll get through the rest of the day. I woke up 4.5 hours later, and the dogs were "What happened to you?" So then I ate food because that makes sense, and then I went back to bed. It was fabulous.
Makes sense. That's good.
Yeah, great weekend. So this week is actually a big week, not only because of the planning that we are finalizing and getting to release to the family, but we also have like other normal stuff going on this week. So I think it's going to be definitely one for the books. Should we get into the good news stories and the holidays?
I think we should. I'm very interested in the holidays.
Well, you know the holidays are going to be good. Hey, just shout out Katie Miglin in the comments right now. Katie, don't watch the first 10 minutes of the show. We are really sorry, and we'll be right back. All right, here's my problem. You have to click, I have to like click buttons over here on this side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I clicked the button to be like, ooh, good news story. And then I almost clicked like end broadcast. And I was like, that's not right. That's not the right button to push.
Good news story is we're done.
No. That's not what
you want me to deal with 11 minutes of Jeff and Rae today.
Which is fine. That's, you know what? You're welcome.
Which is a new holiday.
Okay, so there's like some good holidays, but I feel like you're not going to like these holidays, Jeff. I was really disappointed that you and I were live during this.
Okay, go ahead. Let's figure out if I like them or not.
Okay.
So should I give a thumbs up, thumbs down to these holidays?
Yes, if you could do that, that would be great. Like a grading scale. Okay, World Pasta Day. Oh, love pasta?
Love pasta.
Love it. National Greasy Food Day. Oh, don't even lie. Don't even lie.
Are you kidding me? I love greasy food. Just because I don't eat it doesn't mean I don't love it.
Well, that's the problem. If you don't eat it, then can you really?
I still think that's a great holiday, and it should be celebrated. And you should go get some greasy fries and a greasy burger. Like,
yeah, we don't. Yeah. I don't care what emoji you pick, but for all of our friends in the comments right now, if you could spend 13 seconds, pick your first emoji in the line, or pick a random emoji if you plan on celebrating National Greasy Foods Day. That would be a really good day. Time to fry up some frying oil, chop up some potatoes, and break out the napkins, according to this. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm ready for the next one.
National I Care About You Day.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, that's so warm and fuzzy.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
2 thumbs. Yeah. Also, I don't like this one. Unpopular opinion right here. I don't like this one. It's World Sour Day. Meaning like sour foods, like the sour candy. Yeah, I'm not a.
Well, I'm gonna go here because I don't mind sour. I like some sour candy, but I'm not sure I get excited enough for a holiday.
What's a sour candy? What are those things that are the little people? Sour Patch Kids. Yeah. Those.
Which, if you ever seen Bo Burnham talk, he's like, where are the Sour Patch parents?
Because they're Sour Patch Kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bo Burnham does it much better than me. You should watch him. He's much funnier.
Ooh, Lemonheads. Circling back to other conversations.
Lemonheads. Yeah. Like a green apple blow pop is that sour. I like that.
We did talk about Lemonheads on a Friday show with Brad, and then literally not 2 hours later, Adam texted me and was like, hey, I have some of those in the office. Do you want some? I was like, you're such a jerk. Of course, Adam has everything cool. Like, he's the coolest ambassador we have. And I know I'm saying that, and I'm going to bother everybody else on this feed. I'm just saying, he is a commitment level for Lemonheads that nobody else has. Just saying. Okay, also, I'm cheating on good news stories because...
Was that all the holidays?
All the ones that kind of mattered, yeah.
Those mattered.
Okay, the other one was that it's like International Mother-in-Law Day, so go thank your mother-in-law. Yeah.
I have an awesome mother-in-law. That's a thumbs up.
My
mother-in-law is awesome.
Yeah,
I always talk like I like my in-laws way more than you're supposed to like your in-laws. Like, if Amy ever left me, they wouldn't be able to get rid of me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so good news stories. I tried to like branch out. I don't know if you guys know this, but like I'm kind of a routines person, and I decided to explore other outside resources. And I found an article that was like insane because it's 50 good news stories from around the world to brighten your day, compiled by Reader's Digest in Canada. So I'm like, this has got to be good, right? The problem is I scrolled through like the first 10, and really the first 5 are like outstanding, and now I don't know which one to choose. So here's what I need you to do. Oh, I'm going to give you the location of the stories, and you're going to pick which one we go over.
Okay, I was going to say let's just do all 5, but okay, go ahead.
No, they're like, it would be an overwhelm of good news if I gave you all 5.
It's Monday. We both already made a mistake. We need some good news.
Don't tell people that. Katie's
it's a sour day, so everyone's a little sour today. So good news would be good.
Okay, maybe we'll do a few of them, but here's the deal. Brazil is one.
Okay.
Australia is another. United States. That's Germany. Or Italy or Belize. Okay, those start with those. You pick one.
Australia.
Okay, I knew you were gonna pick that one.
Why did you know that? I tried to think about what I was not gonna pick. I ended up on Australia. I don't know.
Australia's good. An unlikely mammal returns to the mainland in Australia. A animal very commonly known now as the Looney Tunes animal character, first featured as the Tasmanian devil, comes to mind, but actually is extremely unpopular to find in Australia because of the habitat. It's saying that now Tasmanian devils are thriving on the Australian mainland for the first time in 3,000 years. Thanks to the efforts of the conservation groups that are doing a ton, they have introduced 400 acre sanctuary in Southwest Wales last year, and they have been thriving, and it is a very, very big celebration. So for those of you who have not seen a Tasmanian devil, go look it up. Obviously, you may have seen them in the very popular Looney Tunes cartoon, but they look just a smidgen different than the cartoon, so go look them up.
Fun fact, when I was in high school, maybe I think we were like seniors, my best friend Stu bought a new truck, and it was like a pickup, and the entire hood of the truck was Taz, like a full huge Taz. Yeah, it was awesome.
So weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but awesome.
Okay, do you guys want to pick? Let's have the people in the comments.
Yeah, everybody drop in what. So we got Brazil, Belize, the United States, Germany,
Belize, U.S., Germany, Italy. Yeah, that's what you need to pick. So Belize, Italy, Germany, U.S. We already did Australia or Brazil.
First one that pops in the comments.
First one, that makes it really pressure filled. My goodness. Can we just wait for like a few comments?
We'll wait.
There's a delay. Okay, side note. This is something I really need to talk to you about, but this is totally not appropriate for Daily Drop-In. Jeff,
wait, let's do it.
I was on the phone with somebody yesterday during a football game. And so they were talking about the football game, and my response
gridiron football or like European football?
The one that's brown that you throw. Yeah. So they were talking about football, and I was like, oh, I'll turn on the game because I don't know what you're talking about. They like were really invested, and I'm like, give me a second. I'll turn on the game to like have an opinion. My TV was like legitimately 15 seconds ahead. So you'd like watch a play, and I'd be like, oh no, yes. And then they're on this other phone being like, the play hasn't even started on my television. Is that legit? Is that how the world works?
Well, there's a delay on live TV. There's always been a delay on live TV, and they do that so in case something happens live, they can cut.
Yeah, sure.
In time.
But we were both watching live TV.
I know, but dependent. So with the instead of like the stuff like streaming apps and whatnot, the delay can be different depending on what the app is and how quickly they get the stream or the feed. So depending on where that person was, it sounds like maybe that person was watching on if you were watching on.
I was on television.
Like a direct, like cable?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yours would have been the shortest delay, most likely. And theirs, depending on what they were going through. If they were going through like I don't know, even like a Hulu or something, if there's probably a little bit longer delay because it goes through the television, the stations first and then to them.
I thought I had a magic television that I was going to say, if anybody wants to know, like
if you really think about it, all of our televisions are pretty magical.
Well, I'm just saying,
like, amazing what's happening.
I'm in the future is what I was trying to say, but you're saying now it's just the streaming. So like, okay.
No, actually, even in that scenario, technically you were actually in the past because it happened at least 30 seconds before you saw it. So like you're actually already behind.
But not compared to them. That was the point.
Compared to that person, yeah, you were seeing the future. It would have been really nice if you could have made like really quick bets, but probably not enough time to get them to say yes. What game was it that you were watching?
it was a San Francisco Cult game, and it was the Colts won, I think.
Yeah, the Colts ended up winning. Yeah, San Francisco's lost, I think, 4 in a row.
Yeah,
it was a wicked game. They had nasty weather. Like it was like one of the worst storms ever to hit. Like they're like, so basically this is a hurricane without being a hurricane.
But then they kept playing. I was confused on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, friends, it looks like with your votes, Brazil's going to win. So here's the deal with Brazil, and then we're going to move on to our theme this week since, Daily Drop-In on Mondays break all the rules. Changing lives one plate at a time. Every bite counts in Brazil's favelas, spotty in the outskirts of major cities. The country has one of the highest COVID-19 death tolls and serves an unemployment that has led to 9 million Brazilians experiencing chronic hunger over the past year. But David Hertz, food is more than delicious. It is a social bonding tool. An $8 trillion $8 trillion global industry has committed to feeding the citizens of Brazil. He's opened up a high-end, beautiful restaurant that not only is employing thousands of people, but also feeding people as the restaurant industry continues to grow and redevelop. Kitchen assistants, food, like he goes through all these different jobs that he's creating. With Brazil and the world continue to face very big challenges during the pandemic. He is trying to reward amazing people with not only work, but a family environment and enjoying the food that allows us to enjoy the day. So he goes throughout and literally has changed lives, not only teaching people how to cook, but employing them in his restaurants, and then also feeding those that are struggling to afford a delicious meal. So there you go, Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil's been hit hard.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, hopefully you can take these good news stories, some celebrations, some holidays to your students this morning. I know a lot of us are waking up on a very, very rainy Monday morning, but don't worry, there are definitely things to celebrate. Jeff, we have a new theme this week.
New theme.
And we want to be able to recap or preview the week that's coming. So should we get started with our new theme?
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
And we're back and you're dancing. I love it. Back at Daily Drop-In where we're live every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. Fridays too. At 7 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 6 a.m. if you're in Rae's world. We are diving into a new topic. If you want to jump in or if you want to give questions about the topic or maybe topic suggestions, guest suggestions, anything like that, you can go to teachbetter.com/ sorry, I just lost it.
It's a really hard website, guys. Jeff likes to do Brainstorm Bank, but the website is teachbetter.com/daily drop-in, which is the name of the show.
You can just go there. But the link directly to the forum to set that is Brainstorm Bank / Brainstorm Bank. All right, Chris, cut that out. Let's do this again. No, hey, welcome back to Daily Drop-In where we're live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
This is a live video. You can't keep telling Chris to cut things. Everyone's watching you.
I feel like Chris can figure it out. I feel like he can figure it out. Anyway, so this week's topic or theme is meeting all the needs of all students. So meeting all your students' different needs. And this is something that obviously at the Teach Better team we're really passionate about. I think all teachers are passionate about this, all educators trying to reach and hit the different needs, because I think as we continue to understand people and cultures in our societies better, we're realizing that our students differ even more than we've ever thought, right? We continue to figure out all the different ways that the different experiences that they go through in their life, the different ways that they look at the world, the different way that they're treated by the world, and the different types of trauma and stuff that they come into, and the different ways in which we need to be able to try to reach them when we're trying to educate them and help them learn and grow. So this is a really interesting topic that I think is just always continuing to change and evolve as the world evolves. So with all that said, Rae, as someone who I witnessed live in your classroom, meeting the needs of a whole bunch of different students all at the same time, when we talk about this topic of meeting all the different needs of all your different students and supporting them, what's the first thing that pops in your head on what we should be talking about with that. And I apologize. I know that's a really broad thing, but I'm not making you do it in 30 seconds, which I think is an improvement for what I used to do to you. So
no, I appreciate it. No, this is a really interesting topic. Originally, when I saw this topic come up on our list, I was like, that's too broad. It's really too broad for a theme, because every single week is, if you go back, I think we're on the 11th week right now. If you go back in Daily Drop-In Themes, we have brought really strategic themes to really spark deep conversation. And as I was reflecting truly on the plane ride home, I realized that we need a good broad theme, because this is kind of going to get us going, get us thinking, depending on what our student population needs. And every single teacher has something different right now that their students are going to need. And isn't that the beauty, that we can try and bring some of those to the forefront and allow us to discuss possible next steps? You know, we are going to preview our week later this week, or later this show. But one of the first things I thought of, obviously, as a Teach Better team member, is, the only resource that I was able to utilize that gave me the time, and truly that's what I chalk it up to. I used a resource that gave me time back in my day to figure out what students needed. And we talked about that. The grid method is something you guys know that I am like willing to die on a rock for. I think it's life-changing. That the data is undeniable. I love it. But really, Jeff, the thing that I thought we should focus this morning on is the fact that the first step to reaching all your students' needs is taking an inventory of what those needs are, and then spending whatever time you need in figuring out the solutions. But we can't find solutions to problems we don't know exist. And so I think that was kind of the vision, or what I was thinking of this morning as we were getting prepared for this morning's show, is it's not actually about telling you what the needs are on this morning show, but talking about how do you find out what the needs are, so you can brainstorm with your colleagues, with us, with other adults in your life, other students in your life, to then go find the solution, you know?
So let's get that. Tell me about how you would do that in your classroom. How do you take that inventory? What is that process for you?
I think there's 1,000 ways to take an inventory, honestly. And I don't know that one way is the right way. I actually think you have to layer so many different pieces. I think the easiest go-to, and we even talked about this in the course that just released last week at Teach Better Academy, is you really need to get your students' voices in that process, right? Students do have an opportunity here to reflect and tell you what they like or don't like, what they need versus what they don't need, what they enjoy versus what they don't enjoy. So I think that's the first step, is like, can you survey your students? But I think on the flip side, another avenue is also you as the teacher giving yourself the time to go through and collect that information. Some of my favorite things, and this is like so silly, but some of my favorite moments working with 11-year-old math students was sitting down and not necessarily trying to solve a math problem with them, but asking them questions in a small group or one-on-one, and trying to like analyze how they got to what information they were giving me, so I could understand the lens or perspective they were coming from to solve that problem. It wasn't about actually getting the answer. It was about trying to understand, like, oh, you just made a connection here, and that connection actually gives me a lot of information about how you were thinking through our development, you know? So
it's, I mean, it's really largely about having conversations with students, and the word I kept hearing is like, and then actually listening. So listening, not just for the answer, but the way in which they get to the answer, maybe the way in which they describe the answer or choose to communicate to you, because that's going to tell you so much about how they learn, how they think, how they process information, and how they deliver that info back. So it's largely about having conversations and getting to know. And like you said, there's 1,000 different ways you can initiate those conversations, right? You mentioned small group conversations. There could be surveys that spark conversation or ask questions and stuff too. What are the ways that you did that? What were your go-to ways of igniting? Was it always small group, or were there a lot of one-on-one time? Did you do classroom prompts to get to scan and listen to individual, even though it was in a full group setting? Like, did you like duct tape them to the wall and make them answer questions like they're being interrogated with a white light?
yes.
I don't know why duct tape to the wall. Like, you just sit them at a table with a handcuff. Like, I don't know. Anyway, just ignore that part. Chris, cut that out.
To get stuff. Do you mean to get like survey data, or when I'm like trying to gather it just my own way from students, like just information?
I think both. So when you get so I guess tell me, I guess what's the difference in your head between those two, like getting survey data versus
Getting
whatever the other one is.
getting survey data allows you to collect a lot of information at once, and I think your intentional identification that listening is the key. I'm going to push back on a little. I agree, like that, absolutely. But I don't want to negate that. Like, I do believe that educators listen. And I think so often than not, we talk about formative and summative assessments all the time related to this. It's like teachers need to see the information. They need to collect the data. They need to listen to students. I actually don't think that that's actually the problem. I think the problem is knowing that once you consume that data, like choosing to make an adjustment or knowing what adjustment to make based off of that information. I think that's where the gap actually exists.
Which for me, that's what I consider listening, because too many people listen, but that's actually hearing. Listening is actually utilizing what you're hearing or seeing or reading and collecting, and then actually utilizing that. Yeah, 100% agree.
But I think it's funny because I think a lot of educators are like, I want to do that, but it's actually knowing what and how to do it. I just think that's like really, 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 really hard. And it's hard to do that really quickly or even within a timely manner, even if it's not very quick, but just within an appropriate phase of time. Anywho, so the point is like when you're surveying students, if you give a Google form or a piece of paper, or you're essentially asking your students question and they're reporting back to you, and you just have this big collection of information, that is a great starting point. You have to be really strategic with the questions you ask, what types of questions, but also how many questions, and really identifying what you want out of it. It's kind of like planning a lesson plan. What's your target and what are the essential questions that you need to ask to reach your target end goal? So if you're just trying to get an idea of what hurdles exist in your classroom, which is kind of maybe the first step in identifying how you're going to reach all your learners, what type of questions do you want to pose to your students to say, if you answer this question, it will give me some data that will get me closer to identifying what you might need. That could be as simple as them identifying their favorite and least favorite thing that they do throughout the learning experience in your classroom. That could be as simple as identifying the time that they felt most successful in your classroom, or the time that they really, they have a sour taste in their mouth in a learning experience in your classroom. I mean, get creative rather than just saying, sometimes it's as simple as saying, hey, what do you wish we did that maybe you do in other classes or you've done in other learning opportunities that we don't do enough that you want to do more? And, that really is an opportunity. The other thing, Jeff, that we see a lot of educators doing just in the Teach Better world, whether it be because of the grid method or not, is they have students that are doing daily reflection and goal setting. Yeah. And in that daily reflection and goal setting, at least for me and with my students, I ask, what did you work on today? How successful did you feel? And what do you need to be more successful in the future? That alone, you're asking for a student to say, hey, what do I need? And what needs are not being fulfilled? I mean, whether you get a perfect answer every time or not, that at least gets the conversation started.
So you mentioned the hard part, or one of the harder parts, is I have this information, I've asked good questions, or I've had good conversations, I've collected data, I've listened. The hardest part is, okay, what do I do now? How do I use this to now better support my kids? How do we make that, and this might be an impossible question, how do we make that easier? What are the steps we can take to actually make that so that doesn't, because sometimes I think that could feel very overwhelming depending on how much data you've collected and how many different potential avenues there are. How do we kind of take that, make it not so overwhelming, not so crazy? How do we actually utilize that information that we're getting through whatever the different thousands of ways that we can gather that info to then actually take the steps and make the moves to better support them?
I don't know the perfect answer, but I will say, Jeff, I think sometimes we put too much pressure on surveying our students, where it's like, if we're going to do a survey, it's going to be a really robust survey. And I wonder if sometimes the easiest way to get started in this topic is to just chunk information, not for students, but for yourself. Like as a teacher, it's Monday morning, you have a busy week ahead of you. You don't really need one more thing on your plate. But if every Wednesday you took a pulse of your room about a very, very, very specific idea, then and you just adjusted it or tweaked it throughout the weeks, then you're not getting all the data at once. And I wonder if that small amount of information and feedback from your students can get you moving in that right direction. So maybe this Wednesday, I'm going to push out a question using Nearpod, or I'm going to push out a question using Google Forms or a half sheet of paper, and I'm going to ask them their favorite thing about my classroom. And that's all I'm going to ask, one question. That's going to allow you as the teacher to kind of sift through that information, either with one class hour throughout the day, and say, okay, one of the most discussed things that my students say they love about our classroom is that I blast music every morning. Okay, perfect. So now I know I'm going to keep doing that. I know it's setting a positive learning environment for my students, but maybe I'm also going to add it to the end of my day because it looks like it's really positive. So why not add more positivity?
I think that's a big thing that you said in saying that is, I think some of the times the pressure we put is I took a survey, asked all these questions. I have to make a change. Yeah. Sometimes it's that though. I'm just reconfirming that this is working. This is setting a positive thing. I don't have to change everything just because I collected info. Sometimes it's telling me, hey, this thing I was doing, they like it. I'm good. Right. I don't need to put that one more thing on, but also like the little tweak that you did, which is a simple tweak of, this worked here. Maybe it'll work here too, and end our day that way too. So,
well, and then the following week, if you're like, okay, every Wednesday we're going to do this, the following week you could say, okay, what's one, I don't know, something like teeny tiny that you might want to make an adjustment on, or like, what was your favorite lesson this week? And they're like, ooh, I really liked when we used Quizlet when we were learning whatever. Then you as a teacher can say, okay, they liked Quizlet. Why did they like that? It has game engagement. Students were competing. They were working in collaboration. Okay, so now can I incorporate that to continue to engage my learners in this way? Or what was a moment last week that you struggled? If you get just one piece of information, it allows you to either choose to tweak or choose to confirm slowly but surely that you're reaching all your learners.
I just want to say, I love that you said with the Quizlet example, you didn't say, oh, they love Quizlet, I should use Quizlet more. You said, what are the things that Quizlet is? Why do they like that? So I can use those more, because there's a million other ways to do it, which I think is really important, because I think too often we go to, oh, they like that thing, so I'll do that thing again, but it's not. So why did they like those things? Why did that thing work? And can I pull those aspects of Quizlet and what Quizlet offers them into other aspects of our class?
So I guess the point is, this week we're focusing on reaching all your learners, and the Teach Better team very easily can say, hey guys, want to reach all your learners? Nudge, nudge, mastery learning. But the reality is like, there's 1,000 different things that we can all do better to reach our learners better. And it's instructionally, through instructional practices, it's using SEL skills. It's so many different things that we should layer on top of each other. And this week, if nothing else, I hope we give you little tidbits, little things you could consider. How can you do this reaching of all your students more effectively? But maybe Monday morning, the simplest thing is to spend a little bit of intentional time throughout your day to consider how you can begin asking the question or gathering the information to know like what disconnects exist, what gaps exist, so you can begin to then be a solution seeker for them.
I like it.
I don't know if that helps, but it should be good.
This is good. It's going to be a good week.
It's going to be a good week. I don't know. It's never easy to reach all your students because their needs are always changing. And you setting up systems, whether it be through mass surveys, or my preference is always just to create an environment where you have time to collaborate and conference with students. Because I think in small groups and one-on-one conferences, you can get the most amount of personalized information. But as you're doing that, if you can set up those moments to collect the information, that's where small little tweaks can happen. And teachers do this all the time. Just being a little bit more aware of it this week, maybe, can allow us to be successful as we keep going on. I mean, it's the last week of October. Isn't that crazy? It's absolutely crazy.
I'm sorry, I'm choking. That is crazy. It's crazy how fast the year's gone. It's nuts so far.
But on the flip side, we also have had numerous conversations with teachers that this is the hardest year that they've ever had, and they feel like it's going slow. I mean, we just had a meeting this week where I was with an administrator and they were like, it feels like April. And I'm like, ugh. So as we do that, I mean, we're obviously always thinking through how can we make sure that we are persevering, that we are supporting one another, all these pieces, reaching all of your learners and making sure that you're putting the effort into the things that are being effective is a part of you also taking care of your time. You have to protect your time, friends. You have to protect your time.
I love it. Can we talk about who's coming on this week?
Yeah, I think that's good. Let's preview the week so that people know what we can be discussing and what's upcoming next. Here we go. All right, friends, as we have already shared with you in some extent today, our theme this week is literally just how to support and reach your students. How do you support every single student in your classroom, whether there be 22 of them or 150 of them? How can we make sure that you are taking small little steps, small little moments of reflection to continue to amplify the work that you're doing and the success of your students? If you have specific questions that you want us to discuss this week, please just reach out and let us know. We know that these themes sometimes are really specific, sometimes they're big and broad, and our guests allowed those opportunities, those themes to really come together as the week continues. So Jeff and I obviously enjoy kicking off your Monday. When I say enjoy, I mean that loosely because, Monday morning, Jeff's here. But throughout the week, we typically have guests Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that you have not necessarily been exposed to or that are not on the show on a consistent basis. Obviously, we do love ending the week with Brad Hughes on Friday. That's always fun. It's kind of nice to bookend, right? The bookend with two staples, and the people in between really allow the conversation to, I don't know.
I'd say Brad fits. I'm more like a paperclip.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I in that particular light, staple was better than paperclip.
Terrible.
But I guess depending on if you're thinking about effectiveness of use, paper clips you can use multiple times, staples at once. So I don't know.
Well, to me that is like Brad's a staple, so he's not going anywhere. Paperclip you take off and you throw away. So maybe
that's where I was going with it. Was like Brad's like in there, but me, I'm kind of like you could take me out, put a green one on instead of whatever, and then you could use the big clips if you wanted to, and then you could staple it when you finally find the right fit.
I just want you guys to know that our viewers just dropped like 50%, because Jeff was talking about whatever.
Which is why you take me off and throw me away.
Yep. So if any of you want to become a staple on the show, Monday mornings are open.
Currently looking for a staple.
Yep. Call me. Okay. This week is really interesting because typically we have guests that are at least familiar to our Teach Better family. Every so often we throw in a new face, but if you think about last week alone, it was you, Mickey Smith Jr., John Miller, Evan Robb, and Brad Hughes. I would argue most of the Teach Better family knew all of those members, maybe not John Miller. John Miller may have been a new face to the Teach Better family, but newer. Evan Robb and Mickey Smith Jr. have been a part of the Teach Better family. They've been a part of Twitter chats and 12-hour lives and kind of all these different experiences. So we do love to bring in familiar faces, but we also love to bring in new members of the Teach Better family that you as a viewer may not have connected with. This is an educator you can go talk shop with. Maybe you're even aware of them, but you haven't heard them speak in any sort of way. So maybe you have a deeper relationship with them by the end of the show. The hope is that you continue to grow your PLN every single stinking week. This week is going to be new faces on overload. We have 3 new members of the Teach Better family coming on the daily drop-in. They've been connected to, I know, a few members of the team via social media, LinkedIn, kind of everything in between. But this week is going to be 3 faces that you may have never been exposed to before. And Jeff, I really want to celebrate that opportunity that you are going to be able to add 3 new faces to your network. And I know it sounds silly, but I mean, I'm really excited to interview them. I only know them in a professional social media space, but sometimes that creates the most impactful relationships. I mean, as much as we joke about our friendship, you and I met on Twitter. And I still, that baffles me. It's October 25th, 2021. And in 2017, we met on Twitter on a whim in February. That is a
random DM.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. It's like creepy.
It
You
is,
know?
yeah.
It's
But I mean, then we hung out on Google Hangout.
I know, but we hang out here with our friends constantly. And
I
like,
know.
my point is that for all you know, the 3 new faces coming onto the show this week could end up being the people that, I mean, not to be ridiculous, but like become your best friends, change your life, challenge your mindset for education for the rest of your life. You are mediocre, Jeff. I don't know what to tell you. You're not my best friend. You're fine. Brad Hughes, I'm working on making him my best friend.
Yeah, I'm my best friend. You're fine. Whatever.
How does that happen? How can I make Brad Hughes my best friend? Like, do you think I could convince him?
Probably. I mean, you could probably do that. I think he'd probably take it.
Yeah. What are you looking up over there? What's going on your side of the screen? What do you?
Nothing.
I hate you. Okay, if you're listening to Fair Talk Podcast, he just changed his name on the screen to Ray's best friend.
Just living my best life over here.
I did not say that they were going to be. I didn't say that you were my best friend. I said they might become your best friend.
We were talking about us meeting on Twitter, and then you led to, and that's why you paused, because you were like, "Oh crap! I'm about to tell everyone this secret that I don't want them to know." Jeff's my best friend. Okay. You were either going best friend or changed life, one or the other, or both.
Full transparency, friends. Chad Ostrowski is my best friend. I don't know who this Jeff Gargas guy is. Chad Ostrowski is for sure the guy to know. Jeff is like Robin. You know what I mean? Like Chad is Batman.
The Robin. Hey, I'll take it.
And it's Ray's second best friend. Anyway,
so let's be careful here, because apparently Jeff's on a changing his name kick this morning. So
yeah. So any comments, feel free to throw in that.
I will change it to whatever I see in the comments.
That is not true, because we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and sometimes our audience does not behave. So
that's true.
That is not true. Anyway, I'm really excited for our new friends to be joining us. I know we previewed them last week. I'm really excited for so many of you to be exposed to new educators from around the world that are going to be sharing their voice and sharing their stories. And I think this is a perfect theme, because the hope is that they're able to come in this week. And as we continue to focus on reaching all your students, they're going to be able to give their expertise in how they do that every single day. So I'm really, really excited for this week. And I hope you guys choose to tune in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the Daily Drop-In Show at 7 a.m. Eastern. Jeff, any final suggestions or thoughts this week? Because in addition to having some incredible friends joining the show every single morning, we obviously talked about this morning having the conference information releasing on Wednesday, and that's in the evening. That's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
So a little over 12 hours after our Daily Drop-In Show on Wednesday, you should come back to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch and listen to the initial details of Teach Better 2022. We also have Brain Break going on this week.
Brain Break's that day at 5 Eastern. So a couple hours early, you can hang out with Dave and I for Brain Break. And I will do my best not to reveal anything.
Yes. We also have our Edupreneur Mastermind twice this week. We have our Admin Mastermind twice this week. And we have our Podcast Mastermind this week.
Yes.
That's a lot of masterminds. I don't know that I've ever
We do a lot of masterminding.
That is 5 hours of Teach Better Mastermind opportunities, if you add that up.
Yeah, if you fit it. Yeah. If you were an edupreneur who was also an admin, who's also a podcaster on our network, you'd have the ability to have 5 hours. Yeah. The admin mastermind's open to anyone and everyone. So everyone can come on Tuesdays. The edupreneur masterminds, you can go to teachbetter.com/edupreneur and get into that. We do that on Mondays and Thursdays. And the podcasters masterminds for our podcast network. So if you're not on our podcast network, you have a podcast, you might want to talk to Joshua _Stamper about that and get in on that. You can check all of them out at teachbetter.com/podcasts with an S. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
In addition to the fact that our team is all over, and if you see a Teach Better team member, please take a picture, because Jeff's not traveling. Chad is traveling. Dave is traveling this week.
I'm traveling next week.
You're traveling next week?
The next 2 weeks, not this week, but next week and the following week, I get to travel a little bit.
Really?
Or no. Next week, and then it's a few weeks after that. I don't travel that much.
I don't know. I do know
I
that
just stay here in Idaho.
we were together this week, but we'll be together again in like Thanksgiving. You and I will be together again, right?
The week of Thanksgiving, yeah, we'll get to hang out your way.
I didn't mean to say that like you and I were spending Thanksgiving together. That's not what I was saying. I meant that week. Yeah.
When did we did a Thanksgiving? We either did a morning drop-in or a chat. There was a Thanksgiving that we were on. We were live together. We weren't together. Like
we did a mastery chat on Thanksgiving one time.
We did master chat. We did the recap. You and I. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have daily drop-in the whole week of Thanksgiving.
So we're not going to do a daily drop-in on Thanksgiving.
We're taking a few days off of daily.
But we are going to do. You and I are going to go live to track Santa on Christmas, correct? Like that's happening.
I'm sorry. You track Santa on Christmas Eve. Why are you such an amateur?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Christmas Eve. Sorry.
Okay.
So, but is that a yes?
I mean, we have daily drop-in on Christmas Eve, so sure, yeah.
Yeah, but that's in the morning. You have a lot to track still. I'm saying like
24 hours.
I'm saying at like some point, like we should do 24 hours where like the team pops in throughout the day and everyone's tracking Santa. Or maybe we'll just put the Santa tracker up so you guys can watch it with us.
Yeah, so rather than going to the NORAD website where you can get live updates, you should go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, click on our feed and get outdated updates on NORAD.
No, but you get slightly out, like a couple seconds, you get updates, but with commentary from the team.
I think the NORAD website's the coolest.
Can you imagine Brad Hughes on here doing voices and stuff, tracking Santa? I mean, come on.
It's happening. All right. I'm just saying, like, we have to move on. Daily drop-ins on Mondays are ridiculous. We are thrilled that you guys are starting your morning with us, but I will say above all, we are so excited to wish you the best Monday that you've had. It is October 25th. It's the week of Halloween coming at the end here at the weekend. We are so, so, so excited. We know it's going to be a crazy week for so many of you. There's Halloween parties. There are, chaotic elements that happen every single day in the classroom. And if nothing else, we just want to take an intentional moment to say, we hope you have an incredible week, an incredible Monday. We care about you. We're here for you. Please continue to utilize the team to brainstorm and get some good laughter and some positivity from. We really, really know that it takes a village, and we're thrilled to be a part of your efforts every single week to persevere and impact the lives of students. So thank you for all that you do. Jeff, I hope you enjoy your last sips of coffee as we start our day. I hope that you guys let us know if you need anything, and we will see you tomorrow morning. If you're not joining the Edupreneur Mastermind later this afternoon, we will see everybody back here tomorrow morning for the daily drop-in morning show, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at 7 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to click the little commercial thingy, and we're going to go off and have a rainy Monday. Jeff, are you ready for a rainy Monday?
Yes.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Bye,
Appreciate
friends.
you.